everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Care Sandwich. I'm Margarita, your host, and today I am so excited to have a very unique guest. I actually have a intake star that's going to give you as a law firm owner some tips on how you can set yourself up for success by creating an environment for talent like his to thrive and help you sign up more cases from your marketing. And before I get into the interview, though, I want to share this video to remind you what Care Sandwich is all about.
Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Eberline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care.
Welcome back. Zale Jackson joined me on the virtual stage. Let's talk about sales and intake. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Margarita? Good morning to you.
I'm great. It's so good to have you. Tell us about yourself. What do you do? How do you help the injured?
Okay, hey, well, my name is Zale Jackson. I work at Bader Law. Don't be a hater, call Bader. Ask for Zale, I'm going to get you well. Pretty much what I do is I do the intake. I'm the first guy. I'm like, if we was in war, I'm the first guy on the front line. You make a phone call, I'm the guy that you speak with first. Pretty much I speak with the clients, new potential clients, speak with them in regards to their accident, whether it's worker comp, auto accident, slip and fall, dog bites, bee stings, whatever you're hurt with, I'll pretty much speak with you, let you know if you do qualify in regards to your accident. And if you do, then I'll pretty much go from there.
I love it. You are so passionate about helping the injured and so passionate about your brand. And I just think it's so impressive. And it says a lot about the environment that you're in with the firm that you're with. Walk us through, like, what has been your personal journey to becoming this person that knows how to apply almost instinctively, things like, empathy and personalization, and a lot of these techniques that we teach at Marketing Boss through our sales program, Connect Convert. They seem to be intuitive for you, and you've grasped them fairly quickly. So how did that happen? Like, walk us through your journey, your career journey.
Okay, well, pretty much just family values. I was raised by my mom, my grandmother, my dad, my auntie, my sister, and they pretty much just instilled in me at a young age, like, empathy gets you everywhere, just caring about people. That's one of the main things that I've always just cherished just growing up. Like, if you just care, then you get more you get more attention with that instead of being negative. So a lot of people always say, man, you smile a lot. Like, I mean, smiles are free, smiles are free. So it's no need to be walking around mad or, angry or upset about things. It's just, the more you smile, the more you're more receptive to people. You're more approachable. People will come up to you instead of, feeling so guarded. So I started at Ken Nugent some years ago. One of my friends, I was doing debt collection and telemarketing, and one of my friends had told me, hey, man, I work at Ken Nugent and we do intake. And I was like, okay, what is that? And then he kind of explained it to me what it was, because I was doing a lot of outbound and cold calling. So with that, you got to learn, you got to have thick skin. You got to be able to take no's to get to 1,000 no's to get to that first yes. So once he told me, like, yeah, man, this is strictly just inbound. Like, you're pretty much, people are calling in telling you, hey, I was in an accident, and you pretty much just, let them know what the service is. And I'm like, really? Oh yeah, you got the right person. Like, this is right. I can do this in my sleep. All I'm doing is just listening, and they're telling me what their problem is instead of me trying to just, hey, well, no, like just trying to sell them on something. But I'm just really giving them facts on what we can do, how we can do it, and what separates us from everyone else. I worked there for, like I said, a few years, and then I ended up at Julian Sanders Law. I worked there for about 3.5 years. Had a good tenure there. Then, as I started working there, I started getting into a little bit more marketing. It wasn't just doing intake. One of my managers had told me about these little mixers and events that they be having. I never knew about those at all. So I had went to one, and then one became three, and then three became five, and then it just over time, I just kept going to him and kept going to him and started to just see it's a bigger world than what I actually thought personal injury was. Like I had no clue that personal injury was so big, but it looks so small to others that don't know. So once I had got to once I got here at Bader Law, it's like this whole last year of 2025, I pretty much just put my foot in the ground and said, hey, I'm gonna try to hit every mixer possibly. And not even just to get my name out, but to get the brand name out. I had went to Seth one day, and I kept telling him about, I came up with this slogan, hey, don't be a hater, call Bader. And he kind of laughed at it. And a lot of other people just thought, hey, that's kind of, that's kind of slick. It kind of rolls off the I don't know about it, but I just kept saying it over and over and over. It was pretty much planted the seed, and he invested in it. He kind of seen the vision, how I asked him. He
And
started
now you
making.
got swag.
We got hats, we got shirts. Hopefully, maybe we can get varsity jackets, some beanies and stuff like that. Maybe coffee mugs. But he just saw the vision of me just actually telling it to him, because we was at an event that we did with the breakfast. I mean, with the radio station, and he asked the young lady, "Hey, my friend Zale here has this slogan that he keeps telling me. Go ahead and tell her." So I said, "Hey, don't be a hater, call Bader." And the girl almost jumped through the windows, like, "Yo, is that y'all new slogan? Like that's like I like that." So once
Yeah.
he saw that and just saw the brightness in her face, he was like, "Okay, we may have something here." So, like I said, this is pretty much we're trying to put that as one of those slogans. When if you get in an accident, hey, I'm not a hater. Let me call Bader. Let me, I just got in an accident. I was hurt at work. I got a slip and fall. I got in a car accident. So let me give them a call. Let me see what they can do to help me out.
That really does say a lot. And I'm gonna point out a couple of things. If you're a law firm owner, some lessons that I think we can all take from what you shared with your experience. I think that if you're a law firm owner and you open up your sales and intake to people that are excited about helping
Yeah,
people, like
yeah,
that's win number one. Win number two is if then you create an environment where people can be themselves. That's win number two. And
exactly.
then win number three is like listening to your team, because I think, and I can relate to this, like, I'm the owner of Marketing Boss, right? Marketing Boss is my brand, it's my baby.
Correct.
And when somebody that works with me says, hey, I think we should do this, in my head, I'm like, well, this is my baby. Like I've built it, right? And that's very normal because you're protective. It's yours. But I think there comes a point where you have to let your brand become what it's going to become. And part of that is trusting pieces to your team, right? If you created an environment and there's trust, and I think that's very brave, and it's very, beautiful that you have a law firm owner that listened, that invested, and gave you some space to like even try some things out. So I think that is wonderful.
I
So
mean, I
Zale,
definitely. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead.
no, you
No, I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say I definitely. I mean, like I was gonna say, like I really appreciate Seth a lot for that. Just allowing me to be me. Like
Hmm.
I'm I'm not gonna say I'm bigger or better. It's just when you have a conversation with me on the phone, it's totally different than if you talk to another intake person at another law firm. They're gonna be maybe robotic. They're going by a script. I mean, I am too in a sense, but I'm more. I eliminate the sale and I make it a conversation. I want to speak to you. I want to talk to you and know what the situation, what the issue is. Hey, Zale, I was in an accident. I'm hurt. My back is killing me. My neck is killing me. Okay, on a pain scale, how do you feel? 1 through 10. Let
Yeah.
me know. What's going on. Okay, where were you coming from? Little things like that changes the whole dynamic of the conversation if you just listen. That's where a lot of intakers kind of miss the ball. They just, okay, then what? And then what? And then what? And that's what blows a lot of sales. You'll get, hey, well, I got to
Right.
call you back. I got to speak to my wife, or I got to call my husband. Like, that's how you get that. But if you actually listen to the client, the person that's on the phone, you make them kind of, instead of doing this, because most people are on the phone, guarded. And where they're doing this, they're sitting back. Now they pretty much took their shoes off. You're almost sitting on the couch with them talking. So it's
Yeah.
more of a kind of a, I'm not going to say Netflix and chill, but it's kind of a phone, we're kind of just having a conversation to where they feel totally relaxed to tell you whatever they want. But at that point, I mean, you can, it is what it is at that point.
Yeah, I love that you pointed that out, and I'll even piggyback on what you said. In Connect Convert, law firm owners come to us and they say, "Oh, I would love for your, through your sales program, for you to help my team overcome objections." And it's always like, okay, but to your point, when you do the work up front to connect, you don't have that many objections. Like, the objections are information. The objections are showing you that at some point you skipped something because you didn't connect,
Right.
or you still need to do more work connecting.
Connecting.
An example is the objection that you mentioned of, I need to talk to my blank, right?
Yep.
9 times out of 10, and I'm making up the statistic, but you get the point. 9 times
That's
out of 10, right? It's a lie. There's nobody. They're the decision maker, and they just don't know how to tell you no. They don't know what else to ask, but for some
So
reason they don't trust you, and they don't want to move forward, and they don't want to tell you, something's off about this. I don't even know what, but I'm not ready to move forward. Sometimes they can't even articulate it. So then they'll say, "Oh yeah, I gotta talk to my aunt, who's whatever, the spirit of my grandmother." Like, right?
I literally just had a call yesterday. I promise you, I had a call yesterday. He pretty much called in because he saw our Google reviews and was like, "Yeah, I called in because I saw you guys' reviews." And I was like, "Hey, well, you got the guy on the phone. I'm Zale. How can I help you?" So he was like, I was pretty much going through the whole thing. We was on the phone about 30, 40 minutes. And at the very end, I knew I connected with him, but he just threw that out there. I was like, "Well, is there any way I can, possibly give you a call back tomorrow? I want to speak over with the wife." I was like, "Let me ask you a question. You speak with your wife. What is that going to do? What, just honestly, what she doesn't,
What would she ask? What would she say? What would be her concerns?" Yep. Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know anything about PI. So you're asking a person that knows nothing about what you're asking me, the professional, the person that knows exactly what you need. Now, I'm not trying to make you sleep on the couch or nothing. Trust me, I get it. But at the end of the day,
that's cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the whole, like I said, I'm making it conversational. That's what makes, like I said, they're already on guard. So once you say stuff like that, it kind of breaks the ice. Like, okay, like, yeah, I don't want to sleep on the couch, but I get that I do need the help. So I just let them know, like, look, man, I don't want you to have to sleep on the couch or nothing like that, but I want to help you in your situation. That's why you called us. If you didn't call us and you just spoke with your wife, then I get it. But what if she says, "Hey, you know what, honey, I don't think that's a good idea." Then your job or whatever calls you and says you're fired. Now both of you are going to sit there and be like, "Well, I don't know what to do now." You may wait 3-4 months and then we can't help you. Let us help you up front now, so that way we can be in control of what the situation is. He understood exactly what I said. Bang, sold him, got the review. So it was 2 for 1. Like I said,
I'll even outline I don't know. So I'll point out a couple of things in that interaction that you just described. You validated, right? You didn't say, like, "Hey, you don't need to talk to your wife." Like, you didn't say it in a rude way, but you validated, like, "Look, I don't want you to sleep on the couch." I get, like, you honored the fact that you understood this is a marriage, it's a covenant.
You live with her. You know her better than me.
Right. So you acknowledge that, that way in, but then you reconstructed or reframed the conversation and made it more about him, because it was his decision at the end of the day, right? And you empowered. And I think, that's just wonderful. I mean, I can go on. Connect Convert wise. Sure. We teach the science of this, but you're like describing what it's like in application. So I get really geeked out by it, and I want to explain the science behind it, right?
We can't.
Yeah, I know, right? Call me to learn more about Connect
Right.
Convert.
Call us. Give her a call.
Yeah, and the other thing that I'll point out, just kind of taking this back to law firm owners that are listening, you know, many law firm owners insist on scripts. And what you've described is you've been provided with a script, meaning a framework of information you need to get, questions you need to ask to qualify. But I don't hear anywhere where you're being forced to read from a screen and say exactly what
No.
it says on the screen. And I think that's a huge, huge plus of the environment that you're operating in. So I'll say it this way. If you're a law firm owner and you feel like the only way you can ensure quality is by enforcing a script, let me ask you to reconsider, because what you could be doing is missing out on an opportunity for your team to be themselves. And we
Right.
don't know what that is, right? Everybody's different.
Personality.
I would have handled
Person.
that call a little bit differently, because I'm a different person, a different personality. But just like you, I would have been myself, and I would have applied a very similar formula, just in my own words and my own style. If you and
That's it.
I handled that same call, but we were forced to use a script, where is there room for that? Right? So, law firm owners, if you want to create an environment where you have a zealous sales and intake person, right?
Right.
Really helping you flip those leads,
Right.
like really, please consider leaving room for them to be themselves during
Right.
calls, and please
Like an
reconsider.
outline, not really more of a script, but like an outline. Like, okay, you like the normal questions is like, if it's PI, who was at fault? Did you get injured? Did you go to the doctor? And when did the accident happen? Once you get those specific questions answered, then you can kind of go wherever you want at that point. Like,
Mhm.
you gotta have. So I try to, I tell them the type of people that you want to have when you're dealing with intake. You want to have, I'm not going to say a salesman. Well, no, I am going to say that. You want to have a salesman, but somebody that's actually, like I said, empathetic, sympathetic, all that. Like, they actually know and are listening to what's going on. Because like I said, we've heard 1,000 no's, so we have rebuttals just on point. Where, okay, you said that, so it's like my mind gets to racing. Okay, as you're saying it, I'm already in my head knowing what I'm going to say. So you're just pretty much forming. I'm not reading. Okay, she said no, so I gotta, like, that's what they
Right.
have. They say
And some law
no,
firms
then
do
do
that. And
this.
I'm just like, why?
If they say
So,
no, then say this verbatim. It's like they can tell if you're reading something. They can tell that. Like, it's 2026. People, like I said, attention span is very short. So you gotta say something. Like I always say, either respect it or check it. I'd rather be blunt and direct with you, and you understand exactly what I said, than to sit up and blow smoke and just tell you anything that you want to hear. Like, I don't get $1 off me signing you up, but I know for a fact, if you do go with us, we're going to help you out in the best way possible. So that's the difference with us with others. Like, I know for sure, if you go with us, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to help you. We're going to make sure you get the proper care, treatment. So that way it's nothing on the back end where you feel like, damn, I shouldn't have went with them. Okay, I see why I did go with them, because they listen to me, they understand my needs. They're not just trying to hurry up and get me in and get me out to get a quick buck. They actually care about my treatment. So that way, when I do get paid, that money is mine. I don't have to go back and get MRIs and X-rays, CT scans, and all that. For what? That money, you're not even
right.
going to end up in the red. I'm sorry, you're not even going to end up breaking even. You're going to end up
Yeah.
in the red by doing that. So we care about the treatment first, and then hurry up. I mean, then get you paid. That way, whatever you get paid, whatever you're supposed to get compensated, if you come get your check that day or whenever you're supposed to, you can leave straight from there and go to the airport, go on a trip. But you feel good about it. You don't have to leave here and go to the doctor. So that's the difference over
I
what I
love
try.
that. And I can tell that you're in an environment where you've seen this happen, so you believe it. And it's just
Correct.
natural for you to explain that, hey, this is what you can expect, because I've seen it with my own eyes,
I've
and
seen them.
it's honest. So the
People
other tip
call
for law
back.
firm
It
owners
hurt.
is, when you're providing quality service for real and your team knows it, it makes it easier for them to talk about it because they've seen it, right?
Exactly.
So show
Exactly.
your team what you do, how you do, why you do it better than anybody else,
We get you
and
set up with
that'll
treatment
equip them.
immediately. We get somebody
Yeah.
on the phone for you same day to hurry up and get you into a doctor, because most of the time that's the first thing that clients are worried about.
Hey there, I hope you're enjoying the conversation and your sandwich as much as we are. I want to take a moment to share a few words about our sponsor, Marketing Boss. If you're a law firm owner looking to supercharge your growth, our team at Marketing Boss is here to help. We've got over a decade of experience and a proven track record, and we specialize in growing law firms like yours with data-driven marketing leadership. So if you own a law firm and you're ready to get a predictable, steady flow of cases from your marketing, let's connect at marketing-boss.com.
Worried about it's two things: what their car, and then the treatment. So,
Yeah.
oh man, my car is messed up. Okay, well, we'll help you out in regards to this. And then as far as the treatment, I'm gonna get a doctor on the phone for you in less than 5-10 minutes. They're gonna call you back, set you up with treatment based off your address and everything to get you in there. So like I said, as an intaker or onboarding or client advocate or whatever you want to call it, it makes it easier for me, because I know on the front end, we're the ones that pretty much kind of, I'm not going to say we get looked down on, but they kind of look at us as just the people in the basement, when we're really the ones that's keeping, like, I'm not going to, like, we help keep the lights on. Without me or any of my colleagues that sell the product, there's no case manager, there is no attorney, there is no paralegal, there is no, like, we have to make sure we set the bar this high, so that way when we pass it on to the case manager or paralegal, they know, man, the person that I talked to made me feel so comfortable that I know the rest of the way should be smooth. They told me all I got to do is make sure I don't miss my treatments, I don't miss any of my appointments. Once everything is done, they'll get all my bills and records, and then after that, all I got to do is just come pick up my check. Okay, that's what the guy told me. Just don't miss my appointments. They're going to handle everything else, and all I got to do is just sit back and relax and let them take care of everything else. We're going to hold your hand throughout the process. We're not going to stand behind you. We're going to lead you the way. So that's the whole thing.
I love it. And I love that you're like sharing all of this and it's in you. Like it's internalized. You're not
I mean, it's hard to, I don't want to give everybody too much, but I mean, it's a lot more sauce to give, but I mean, like when I get passionate, I get passionate about this because like you said, like I'm one of the ones that really care. Like I've seen people call in crying. Like we're literally parents, uncles, moms, dads,
and
brothers,
many intakers will shut down, right? When people are too emotional, they'll shut down. You lean in.
We have to tell them. Like I'll tell them, hey man, hey, or ma'am, sir, I get it. You're hurt. Go ahead. Hey, go ahead, vent. Let it all out. And I'm like this on the phone. Let it all. Come on, we can cry together. It's okay. Because I get it. I get where you're at. I know you're not mad at me. Even when they cuss me out, I get it. You're not mad at me. You don't even know me. You're mad at the situation that you're in. How can I get back to work? How can I get my kid back and forth to practice? How can, like, you're mad at that because your whole world is now in a frenzy. So you're trying to figure out what's the next step. So let us make that easier for you by giving, pretty much giving your, as if you went to the doctor, a muscle relaxer in a sense, but a mental relaxer. Let me relax your mind so that way you feel free in regards to whatever your situation is. Okay, I know they're going to take care of everything. Let me take a deep breath. Okay, great. Thank you, Zale. I totally appreciate you just letting me vent because, this stuff is just so bad and I just don't know what to do. Hey, I got you. We got you. Just I get it. I get it. It's okay.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I could talk to you about all day, and we do have long conversations about empathy, and just friendly reminder, what you've seen and heard from from Zale's account, if you're listening and watching, that it's sales, and let's redefine sales, because in Connect Convert, we teach connect convert, not convince convert. Right. When earlier when you said it's sales and you're like, well, no, but I think that correction came from an acknowledgement that there's this misconception that sales is push, convince, manipulate. But when you do it what I'm going to call the right way, and what you've illustrated is the best way, right, to get better results.
No manipulation.
It's just be present, like connect for real, like show up. And and if it's not your nature, work on that. Like call us about Connect Convert, and we'll set you up with
the hard
mindset
part for
coaches
some
that can
people.
help you get there.
Some people just can't connect, and they just, like I said, they're scripted. So you got to find the right people in your sales department. If you have the right salesmen that know how to listen, of course they can convert because they're a good salesman, but you got to have the people that can connect first. Somebody that can literally walk in a room and talk to anybody in there, white, black, brown, fat, tall, skinny, small, like it doesn't matter. If you can have somebody that can do that, the sky's the limit for your law firm. I promise you. It doesn't matter because they can talk to literally anybody and at any time. It's no pressure. I'm not saying they're gonna dumb down, but they're gonna make whoever that they're talking to feel comfortable enough to open up because they just seen all realms of life. They know, okay, I can't really go this way with them. I'm gonna have to talk to them this way. So I guess in a sense, code switch, but I don't really like that word.
Yeah, no, I get you. So I can talk to you forever, but I have one more fun question for you, and then come on. We can wrap it up. So I don't know if you were given a heads up backstage about this question, but the podcast is called Care Sandwich. So the last question I'm gonna ask you is, what is your favorite sandwich? Totally random because it's called Care Sandwich.
What is my favorite sandwich? Yo, I literally just went to Publix last night. I love a good Italian sandwich. Like I love a good Italian sandwich with good soft bread. So I love Publix subs. A good Philly cheesesteak isn't bad either. But if I had to just pick one sandwich, like a good Italian sandwich, like good soft bread.
I didn't know we liked the same sandwich. So I like the one from oh my gosh, Jimmy John's. Their Italian burrito is like my favorite, but the Publix one is good too. But I'm all about the Italians. So I didn't know we liked the same sandwich. Next time, share half with me.
On me,
all right,
for sure.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Zale, for these wonderful insights, and congratulations on all your accomplishments. And thank you for sharing all these wonderful tips.
Anytime if you need me to come back, share a little bit more sauce, I'll give them a little bit more, not too much, but I'll definitely come back, have another slice of sandwich with you. I definitely appreciate you invited me to this. This was fun. Hey, everybody, if you ever get in an accident or injured, you're looking for greater, please don't be a hater. Call Beta 404-888-8888. Ask for Zale. I'm gonna get you well. I got you.
I love it. Thanks for the little infomercial. This is awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich. You don't go anywhere. I'll see you backstage.
All right, for sure. Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.